14 million displaced inside and outside Ukraine's borders. We're now 3 months into this conflict. And on the ground, it's hard to see how anything is improving at all for ordinary Ukrainians on any level.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, we don't know exactly what's going on the ground, and the Ukrainians we have in France have a lot of questions about their families. Are the men okay? And they need answers. Obviously, we can't have all the answers for them, but we're definitely helping the men fight by supporting women and children.
Indeed, and obviously that is a very onerous task and a very essential task to take care of those people who have left the country. Meanwhile, inside the country, I think it's fair to say we're looking at a humanitarian disaster, aren't we? Especially from that ban from Kharkiv right the way back round to Mariupol and on to Kherson. That must leave you, as someone who works in an NGO thinking about humanitarian matters, incredibly frustrated.
Yes, because we don't know how many people are concerned, how they are exactly, so we don't have that information, so it's very hard to know exactly how many people are concerned by that issue in the Donbass region, essentially. And it's also led to people being displaced to other cities within Ukraine. And the big question is going to be how to get back to Ukraine in the future, what's going to be left of those regions.
Talk about the people that you've brought into France here, the people you're supporting at this end of things. How are you helping them? How are they finding settling in? It's difficult to move from country to country in the best of circumstances. These are the worst of circumstances.
Obviously, yes.
So how are you helping
them? How we're helping them, Care for Ukraine goes to the Polish border and we bring back people in a bus. We bring them back to Paris and then we place them in vetted host families. It's very important to us that we've vetted these families because the refugees need to see pictures of the houses, of the people who are going to welcome them. So that's essential for the trust, obviously, and then we help them with their paperwork, with getting work, with children being in school, so we take care of all that for them.
And obviously the thing is, for children, for example, sort of arriving, speaking Ukrainian and perhaps Russian, but not French.
Not French, not English, so it is very hard for them to communicate. I think it's easier for children to play in playgrounds. It's harder for the adults. But we are also supporting the adults by providing French classes for them.
What do you think of the help that's been given on this level by the rest of the EU?
I think the help is always welcome. I think we can do a lot more. I think we need to do more. Host families are only a sort of band-aid. We didn't think it would last this long. We definitely need to find more housing, more funds, and more people to help.
More funding, more housing, more funds. It's a lot to ask for, and obviously these things don't just arrive overnight, do they?
No, but I think it's essential to at least help the host families who've chosen to keep refugees within their homes.
We're in a period now where we've had 3 months of a war which Vladimir Putin thought would last for 72 hours. Obviously, that's all been changed, and that's all on the Ukrainian fighters who had the bravery, the courage to resist and push back. Going forward, for organisations like yours, there will be more and more people to care for, won't there? Because this situation is going to go on.
It is going to go on, unfortunately. For how long, we don't know. That's a question the refugees can't answer and don't know how long they're going to stay in our countries in the European Union. But they are contacting us saying, can you help our friend? Can you help our family? They need our help. So obviously we'll be there for them. We just need also volunteers. So if anybody wants to volunteer.
So in terms of what you have to do, or not what you have to do, what you take it upon yourselves to do, because obviously you're volunteering to do this and trying to help as best as you can and do all you possibly can. You need volunteers, you need drivers, you need vehicles, you need... What do you need?
I think we need vehicles to go back to the Polish border because buses are quite expensive. We also need funds for the host families or people to help the host families. Just an outing, just to be able to do something with the refugees to help the host families. I think it's just as simple as that as well.
And what kind of support are you getting from central government here in France? Are they being... I was going to say, are they cooperating? But it's not that, is it? Are they being, I don't know, generous, fulsome in what they're trying to give to you to help? Or you find you kind of just really just sort of
We know funds have been voted. We haven't had those
Well,
funds
that's a good
yet.
sign.
It is a good sign, but we need them now. We need help. As everything, we need immediate help. So a lot of funding is private. We have a lot of partners that have decided to back us. So transport companies, such as the cab, have tried to contribute to our actions, but we do need more help. So obviously, funding is essential, and the government funding isn't fast enough.
Okay,
for
so
our
that's
action.
coming through, but you're reliant really on donations from individuals at the moment. Is that
Yes.
basically it? And in
Individuals.
terms of the budget, clearly, it's I suppose it's how long's a piece of string, really. This question, but how much do you need?
That's a difficult question. We need quite a lot of money. It depends how long we need to provide for them, because a lot of these Ukrainian refugees want to be independent, are starting to work. I do have cases of refugees who are already at work. They've been at work for about a month now, so they are going to be independent in the next couple months, but we just need to give them that little extra help to get there.
Italy has a huge Ukrainian community already, a diaspora which is there. France, I don't think, has the same kind of numbers.
No.
This is
So
clearly
that's what we're trying to recreate as well, so they're not completely left alone. We do have hubs of Ukrainian refugees in different regions in France, so they're not completely lost, and they can still communicate and stay in touch with people that speak their language.
Okay, Lydia, you've got a job on your hands, and it is an essential job that you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
Lydia
for having
Meyronnet
me.
from Care for Ukraine, president of that organisation. We will try to help you get in touch with Lydia and the organisation. If you feel you can help in any way, we'll get the details and put it on our website. Lydia, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you
us
very
here
much.
at France 24. We appreciate your time.